saying, all I really said is I like to give you peace of mind, not a piece of my mind. Oh, hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask Gone. It's very nice to be. So as you'd expect, we've absolutely tons and tons of letters, prayers, texts, and emails. So let's get straight on with the first question. So Mr. Angus Bitters of Sheffield asks, "Where's my 4-inch positive screwdriver?" Well, Omniscience it informs me that it's probably in your kitchen drawer, which is next to the washing machine, and somewhere in that drawer. I think it's next to the brass spoon, if I remember rightly. So I hope that helps you. Next, Mr. Stephen Kill of Kettering asks, "What came first, the chicken or the egg?" Well, Stephen, it is one of those eternal conundrums, isn't it? In short, it was the egg. You know the way sort of evolution goes when things start to change and go down the old genetic route. Well, the type of animal the chicken was before it was a chicken was another sort of bird thing, really, and it gave birth by using eggs. So it was always the egg that came first, and then the chicken eventually popped out of the evolutionary egg to become what is now commonly known as the chicken, basically. Hope that helps you. As for why the chicken crossed the road, well, that's still out for debate, really, and the jury's still out on that one. Anyway, moving swiftly on, Tabitha Grissom of Pontefract asks me, "What's your favourite cake?" Well, Mildred, I don't know if you know Mildred, but she's here in Bliss HQ, and she makes some rather good cakes, and I'm rather partial to the old Battenberg, to be honest. She does a very good Battenberg cake. I believe it's a firm favourite with all of us here. What? You don't like the Battenberg? You prefer the Dundee cake? Well, why do you keep telling her that you like it? If you don't like it, you don't like it. Just have the Dundee cake. Maybe she'll make more of them for you if you ask her. Look, whether you like the Dundee cake or the Battenberg cake, I think we'll discuss this after the program. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So there we go. So in short, popular favourite around here, not for everyone, but for most, is the Battenberg cake that Mildred makes. Anyway, our next question is from Phillida Pye of West Drayton. She asks, "In space, is there a north, south, east, and west?" Well, Phillida, no. Basically, there's no left or right, up and down, north, south, east, west. You've got to think of it a bit like a circle, but then turn a circle into a 3D or possibly 4D model of a sphere. You would sort of naturally assume where the center is, and then from that center you would have like imaginary lines going out. So how we think of it is a bit like this. So if you were to plot it, it'd go something along the lines of coordinates which might be like 34 times 0 times 172. That would give you the location of the Watzifkin galaxy. So if you wanted to go from there to another galaxy, say Kurovain, then what you do is you plot first of all where Watzifkin is at 34 times 0 times 172, and then you'd put in the coordinates of the next galaxy, which is 9879 times 0, which is center again, times 1283. So you'd be going from like here over to there within this sphere. We don't refer to north, south, east, and west. It's just the way we do it. One thing might come in handy for you when you start traversing the heavens more successfully, just outside of your galaxy, etc., is to get a quantum a bit like a sat nav, more like a sat nag, to be honest with you. I call it Gladys. It goes, turn right, turn right, turn right, turn right, and you feel like shouting and going, I am turning right. So, like I say, it's more of a sat nag than a sat nav. Anyway, we'll just move on to the next question, I think. So, next, Andrew Kern asks, Is there anything that moves faster than light? Well, no. In short, nothing moves faster than light, unless you consider Michael when he sniffs chocolate around the place. That's very, very fast, but not faster than light, I fear. Our next question is Selena Duke asks, how many philosophers does it take to change a light bulb? Well, four, basically. One, to question if it's real, another one to object to its existence, and in another one to rationalize its existence, and another to be pragmatic and just put the light bulb in, basically. Magnus Svensson asks, why doesn't my oven work? Well, Magnus, I'd first of all try turning the socket on where it's plugged in. I think you'll find that something issue. Next, Alexander Oolong asks, why does coffee sometimes smell like fish? Well, Alexander, basically there's only a finite number of atomic smells. Probably the best way to describe it, atomic smells. Yeah. So, things come from basically all the same source, but things become other things, don't they? So at one point the coffee bean was probably part of a sort of semi-aquatic state, and then over time it's become the cocoa seed, and so consequently, when you heat something up or mix things and then cook them, only a certain number of atomic smells can be combined. So that's why sometimes when you get certain brands of coffee or a certain type of coffee and you heat it up, it might smell a little fish-like, basically. However, if things are smelling a bit fish-like, I'll be a bit careful. What I'm drinking might be off or something like that. Something often a bit fishy, isn't it? I won't go into too many details. But basically, just careful if it does smell too fishy. But yeah, basically because of the finite number of atomic smells that are out there, basically. Next, Geraldine Spottisworth of Croydon asks me, when is my MOT due for the car? One second. I do believe it's on the 21st of October this year. I hope that helps you. Next, Diego Monsanta asks, if I think, therefore I am. If I don't think, am I still am or here? Well, Diego, I do believe you're probably having a bit of an existential dilemma there in a minute. So let's try and help you. Well, basically, you are always you, for even when you're not thinking, you are thinking. The very thought that you're not thinking is actually the mere thought that you are thinking. That should help you, I think. Barbara McEwen Smile of Helsinki. Sounds English. She asks, why is it that I keep forgetting the things I went in the kitchen for when I'm in the kitchen? Well, I don't know. Maybe go to the doctor and check if it's an onset of some sort of early dementia or illness. But aside from that, it's quite a common thing that I believe you humans experience. What I find and recommend for most is to walk backwards, literally walk backwards. Just mind that you don't step on the cat, or anything else like a dog's tail or anything like that. If you walk backwards, though, you'll more likely find that you remember. Because you're sort of traversing back along the line you came in, so you probably find out you're in the living room. You think, yes, I must get the stamp out of the drawer to put on the letter. So you go into the kitchen, you're looking for the stamps in the stamp drawer, but just before you get there, you think, hang on a minute, what did I come in here for? And you think, oh, hang on, was it to peel the potatoes? Was it to wash up the dishes? And you think, good grief. And then you start to walk backwards, and as you walk backwards, you're like literally walking back through time to a certain degree. You can't go back in time as such. In fact, time is just an abstract. I won't go into it all. I won't digress. I'll explain this all to you before. If you watch an earlier episode. So, basically, if you go backwards, you'll start to remember exactly what you forgot, generally speaking. But, like I say, if it becomes too much of a concern, feel free to consult your local doctor. It might be an onset of something like Alzheimer's or some sort of, dementia, something like that. So, I won't be too concerned in a minute, though, Barbara, because, from what I can tell, you seem to be doing well. But I think it's just human nature, forgetfulness. Anyway, that's about all we have time for today. Oh, hang on, one second. He's got something in from Janice here. Janice from marketing reminds me to mention our incentive about the pegs. We're adding value. The piece Eternity, Grace and Salvation. There's only about 122 harps left if you want to grab up on an offer, basically. She also reminds me to remind you about our Facebook page, which is Ask God, simply. Our username for that is at Ask God H. No, hang on. No, what is it? What is it again? At Ask God and Bliss HQ. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, thank you for all those who have subscribed so far. And don't forget to keep your questions coming in, basically, by fax, if you have a facsimile machine, email, you can write, you can text message, you can drop us a line on the old phone, or you can even go old school and pray. There's no harm in doing it. We rather like hearing prayers. I do. I have a bit of a natter with you from time to time, as you know. So that's about it for today. So take care, and until next time, bye bye. Yeah, so I think that went rather well, that one, don't you? Now, what's this thing about Battenberg cake?